we're good now. I can start. Okay, so to run a Lua file, I have to first load the file in, which means I have to parse it. So I've already parsed the header. After the header comes what's called a binary chunk, which is sort of, among other things, contains the actual code that you're supposed to run. So we'll load that in, I guess. So actually, it's probably better to put that in a function. There's definitely an even better way to do this, but you know, buffer is a U8 array, and we'll just say, oh, we'll give it a start index too, which will be, I don't know, like how are we indexing this buffer? Like a U size or something? And we can say Lua chunk, or no, let oh, it'll do type inference. So we'll just say has to throw, and it returns a Lua chunk. We'll say let main chunk is equal to load Lua chunk from the buffer with a start index of, I guess it starts at 12 technically. Okay, that looks good. And what does a Lua chunk look like? Well, I have a document for reference pulled up. A Lua chunk has, well, actually I've started it here. It has a source name, has where it starts, it has where it ends in terms of its line number. Source line end. I've yet to figure out what Lua integer is really going to be. I put enum, but I don't know. Maybe we'll say it's like byte. Can you do this in Jakt? I don't even know. Value is a U8. Looks like you can. Okay, type int is maybe a little useless or redundant. Half word. Value would be a U16. These type hints are really a little useless. Maybe I should turn those off. Oh, wait, these are also... No, the Lua numbers are definitely unsigned. Pretty sure. Lua integers, I mean. Double word. U64. Yeah. Okay. So we have our source information, and we have a little bit of metadata, other metadata about the chunk, which is like number of parameters. As a chunk is also technically a function. So like a public number of up values. So, that public number of parameters is that is vararg. I think we could probably make this a Boolean value. Because technically it's a byte. Oh wait, no. No, it has more information than that. It has three permissible states. So it does. We'll just keep it like that for now. Like max stack size is a U8. And then we have our lists, which is the list of instructions, etc., etc. So in load Lua chunk, we will parse out the source name, which is a little fun. I think for a Lua string, you have to first get the size of the string from the file. But that size can vary based on the information we got up here. So it's one of these. Maybe we should put all this in like a header. Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay, yeah, a Lua file will have a header and a main chunk. and this can take the header like this. Header is a Lua header, and then we can act on the information in the header. So if like we have, we can do match header. This we should also put in a function. We're going to do function like load Lua string, which will also take a buffer. There's definitely a better way to be architecting this, but that can come later. Start index, size, like that. And actually, I'm not sure if I want to have these throw. We'll have this just return a normal string. Header size t. And if we have, this is size t is in bytes, I think, right? Yeah. I have like 1. We'll convert them all to a U size. Oh, I keep doing that. Mute string length. U size is should I give it a default value, or should we do like an optional? No, I think this should always return a string. So default size I think should be 0. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, I'm stupid. What we need to do is do this, and then we can I think yield is the way to do this. Do buffer start index. That just gives us the size. Do I have to yield or return yield maybe? Ugh, I'm sorry, I've never done pattern matching before, like in my entire life. So I don't really know how to use the match statement. I have to look at some example code. Oh, it's because it's not exhaustive. Okay, so we'll just put an else 0. Oh, we have to cast. So we want to do as usize. Two, we'll do buffer start index. Oh wait, this depends on endianness too. Well, for now we'll just only support little endian. So do that, and then or it with buffer start index +1. Left shifted. I'm not sure operator precedence, so I'll use parentheses. Left shifted by 8 bits. Yeah, and then we'll have all that as a usize. Uh, 4 bytes. Do the same thing, I think. But a little more. This one will be shifted by 16. And this one will be shifted by 24. And then we need to change this to +2 and this to +3. And we need to be keeping track actually of this. So, oh wait, no we don't, because it's exactly the same as size t. And then I guess we'll support very, very long strings. That's a little tedious, but we need to do like something like this. Can I not do that? You don't like the multi-line? Okay, well, that's a little annoying. we'll do it all in one line. It's okay. So we shifted by 32. And we need 3 more of these. Ugh, that's a little very ugly. We'll do 5, 6, 7. $32, $40, $48, and $56. Right? Yeah. Or that looks right to me. Expected U size, but got U 8. Do I have too many? Do my parentheses wrong? I think I am. Yeah, I miscopied. Maybe that's why the multi-line wasn't working. That's annoying that it doesn't give you an error. That's a little more intuitive. There we go. Now it likes it. And then we'll let's make this mutable. And we'll say start index plus equals header size t size, or size t. And now we have the length of the string. We just need to parse out the string. I think they include a 0 byte at the end. Yeah. So, and the string size takes into account the 0 byte at the end. So I'm not sure the most efficient way to do this in Jakt. There's probably a way I can just take the bytes from the buffer and put them straight into a string. So we can just do for string index in start index to start index plus string length. These type hints are really annoying. Yeah, let's turn these off. Much better. So now we should be able to do something like final string equals buffer string index, which of course we can't do because incompatible types. Yeah. Oh, we do have a string builder. Append. Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. String builder. String builder. Sorry, this is me just not really knowing how the language works. Empty initializer. Okay. String builder. Do append. Yeah, that works. Okay, that's pretty nice actually. And then we can return string builder, but then we can just do toString. I think that's okay. I think we can do that. But I always find it nice when you can just like concatenate, and it doesn't look like they have that functionality, which is fine. So we have load Lua string, and now we can finally go back to load Lua function or chunk, which we'll do. Source name is load Lua string with buffer. Come on, man. Start index header. And then, you know, it just occurred to me that maybe I should be sharing this stream on the Serenity Discord server. Okay, announced. What is this song? Can we skip this? Okay. And maybe the people who, the good people over at the SerenityOS Discord will know Jakt better than me and can point out any stupid things that I'm doing. There's some things I'm very, very unsure about, considering it's my first time. Like, I have no idea if this is a good way to represent an integer that might be multiple sizes, or like you have an integer that could possibly be 1 byte long or 2 bytes long or 4 bytes long. We'll just roll with that and we'll see once we get it to a stage where I can test. So the source name, and now we have to use Lua integers to get the lines where the source is defined. Do we need another function? Maybe we'll write a load Lua integer function. It feels a little cumbersome for just loading an integer from a file, but We'll just steal this signature. Depending on what we defined our integer size to be, and our header will match on that. Can we just return it? Like return match header size int. And we can do something similar to what we did up in load Lewis string. We do Lua integer byte, and then we can give it the buffer at the start index. Yeah. Okay, that looks like it's gonna work. We might need to do a throw or something. I mean, I don't think we're ever gonna run into a situation where size int is not valid, or some weird size like 3 bytes long. I guess really what I should be doing is making it dynamic. That just loads the specified number of bytes in. That's probably a good idea. Like load integer of length. Maybe that's the correct way to do this. Should I do that? Should I just write a load integer of size? I think it'd be pretty easy. Yeah, why don't we just do it? This will save us some technical debt. Load integer of size. We give it the buffer. Do we need start index to be mutable? I don't think we do in this one either. Start index is usize. Do we need the header? I don't think we do, but we do need the size. Like a for loop, or maybe we'll have store the final integer in a variable here. And then we'll do for integer byte starting at the start index, going to start index plus integer size. Is this going to give me an off by 1? Do I have to subtract 1 from that? Also, this should be if buffer string index is 0. We should continue. Can we do that without the braces actually? That's probably right. Oh no, we can't do that. We just have to leave it off because the Lewis strings can contain null bytes. You're allowed to do that. So we just have to do something like this. So this, I think this is the for loops in Jakt are inclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think that means I have to subtract 1 if I do a loop like this. We'll just pretend we're always in little endian, which means we'll shift the do final integer or equals the buffer at integer byte left shifted by, we do need a way to keep track of which byte we're on, so maybe I'll just have a mute integer byte index. There's definitely a better way to do this, but sure, why not? I'll shift it by integer byte index times, still not sure of the operator precedence, 8. And that'll shift every time we scan in another byte, it'll shift it left by however many bits it needs to tack it onto the number and or that into our final integer. And that should be okay. It's suspicious to me that it's not giving me typecast errors. Usually it complains to me about this being a U8 and this being a U size. Actually, and it wasn't... Oh, right, I didn't make this return a U size. Very suspicious that I'm not, like, getting overloaded with errors here. And this definitely doesn't need the extra parens. So now we don't have to do this match anymore, I think. Now I think we can just do load integer of size. Buffer start index header dot size int. Oh wait. No, we still have to match on it because we have to determine. Wait, this if we do it like this, then we don't need the Lua integer type because they're all going to end up being U size. So maybe this is a fun like optimization, but I think it's syntactically and semantically kind of useless. So we'll just do U size for these, and it simplifies things just a little bit. So we don't need like a load Lua integer. Where was I using that? I think I was going to use it here. So instead, let's just do let, what did we call it? Let source line start. Start equals load integer of size. Give it the buffer index. Actually, that index is going to be wrong because we just changed it up here. That's awkward. Software architecture is hard. I feel like what I should be using actually is like a class, like a buffer reader class that has an index that you can advance. So you just give it a buffer, and then whenever you read something, you can ask it for a byte or something, and it indexes, increments the index into the buffer. Because I'm assuming, like, yeah, this start index is just going to be copied onto the stack for these other functions. So incrementing it in here doesn't do anything out here. And again, I'm really confused as to why this is not erroring. Probably just an issue with the Jakt syntax highlighting VS Code extension. I'm sure as soon as you know what, let's even try it actually. If I do like Jakt main.jakt. Oh, right. Oh, I can just do it from here. We'll do Jakt source. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. Maybe that's why. Expected set struct. That's probably, maybe it's something with this. Like, what's the proper way to make a string builder? .create, right? Doesn't that return a... Why? Like, what does that mean? Oh, I gotta save it. Okay, here we go. Now we get actual error messages. Yeah, wrong number, right? Yeah. So we have... Wow. That doesn't look right at all. These are like supposed to be... It's supposed to say expected U8 but got U size. I feel like this error message should be reversed. I feel like we're actually expecting a U size, but we get a U8 on this side. So that's interesting. We'll just do oh, we have to typecast this anyway. Do we? Do we have to do that? Why do we have to do that? Or as U size, that's what I meant. I don't even know what this is talking about. I think string builder is a variable. Oh, maybe it's because it's since static, you need to do that. Is that right? Try. What's the proper way to do this? Where do you put the try? I'm not understanding. Maybe the compiler can help me out here. Needs to be in a try statement. Yeah, I'm trying to do that, but it's doing it to this one too. Okay, you know what? This is a little scary, so we'll just say throws. And that immediately eliminates all of our problems. Right, and so this then needs to throw. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, okay, we're good now. I think we're back on track. So now I'm going to write real quick, I think, a class that can handle our buffer for us. Because that, I'm pretty sure, will be passed by reference on the heap. We'll call that buffer reader. Maybe this already exists in Jakt's like standard library, but that's fine. We can reinvent the wheel a little bit. We'll say private. Can we not do that? Whatever. It doesn't. Oh no, it's just not syntax highlighting. Private buffer is a U8 array, and we'll have you need to member functions like function get byte or next byte. We'll say this. And then we also need a... there's no reason to make this private, I think. I think it's fine to have it public. We'll do public index is that... and we'll say this returns a U8. Why don't we just do buffer index and then index plus plus. All right, dot buffer. Then oh right, mute this. Wow, very cool. Function. Let's do like a peak byte, and that doesn't have to be mutable. And this, in this case, we can just return buffer index. And actually, this is really nice because now we can do load integer of size as a member function. Yeah, this will be nice. Do like a mute this, and then we don't need to take any of this crap. We can just take the integer size. We can do from index to index plus integer size -1, and then we can just do that. Buffer. All right, this needs to be dot index. That looks a little funny. Maybe we should space it out. Does that look better? Sort of. That should be fine. I think that actually works. And we'll just call it like next integer size. I think that's much cleaner, honestly. And then down here, we don't have this anymore. And instead of taking a U8, we will take a buffer reader. And we'll still load these bytes manually, but then I think we can instantiate a new buffer reader. All right, and all it needs is the index. We'll start it at 12, and the buffer. Yeah, look at that. Much better. So we'll say buffer is the buffer reader, and it doesn't need to start an index anymore, I don't think. So up here in load a chunk, we don't need one of these, but we do need to give it the header, which we need to create. Let header equals Lua header. We'll get version, format, NDNS, size int, size t, instruction size, Lua number size, and number type. Very nice. Very, very nice. Much cleaner. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can, not sure if I like all the spacing I did there. What's wrong with it? Reaches end of non-point function. We don't need to worry about that. Start index we don't need to worry about because that's controlled by the buffer reader. And this is now buffer next integer of size, header integer size. Oh, wait, it's marked private? Do I have to explicitly say public function? Oh, and this needs to be actually mutable. Oh wait, no. That's just for that function, so this should be mute buffer. So I'm not used to stuff being constant by default, or immutable, I mean, by default. I try to keep it in mind, like if I'm writing JavaScript, I'll try to use const when I can, but it's not something that's like I'm totally not used to the paradigm of immutable by default. Next integer of size, what did we call it? Integer size, okay. Right, so now load Lua string has to be different. We have to take a buffer reader that probably has to be mute. And then we can just do buffer get byte, right? And what's the problem with that? Or next byte, that's why. Oh wait, we don't even need to do this too, because we can just do string length is, oh, this is such a nice cleanup. I spent all that time writing this stupid match statement too, and now we can just do buffer dot, why am I not getting completions here? Buffer dot next integer of size, and this is size t size, so header integer size is header size t as right. We'll do a cast and buffer, right, buffer doesn't like to be indexed like that, but this is nice because now we don't need to keep track of this index. We can just do like a loop. There's definitely a cleaner way to do this in Jakt, but we can just do like from 0 to string length -1. Yeah. Because we want to leave off the null byte at the end. I'll just comment that. And then we can just do, all we have to do is next byte. Very clean, very nice. So what does this, right, this needs, we don't need start index anymore. So did I remember to, oh, I didn't. Okay, that's a good catch. I need to increment the index by the integer size. So index plus equals, or dot index plus equals integer size. Don't know what's going on with the completions today. And then we don't need to do this. Much nicer. Yes. Yes, and then this automatically keeps track of the index. So we can take this out of here. Great. And now all we have is that error. And we can repeat this for source line end. Buffer next integer size, header size int as size. So now that we have that, we can look back at the reference and see, if we scroll down, that we have number of up values is next. So let number of up values is buffer next byte. Let number of parameters is buffer next byte. Come on now. We'll probably turn the vararg thing into an enum, but for now we'll just say is vararg is buffer next byte. Max stack size. Okay, and here we get to the fun stuff. So down here is the list of instructions and things like that. For now, let's just construct the Lua chunk. We'll say that, oh, we can just return it. Return Lua chunk, source name, source line start, source line end. Yeah. So now all you have to do is return a file load result. File load result. What does that have? Lua file. What? What did I call it? Success. Success with the Lua file. Success. Lua file. Header. Main chunk. Wow, did we really do it? Does it compile? No. I don't know what this error code means. It's, I think not particularly clear. Anyway, from here we can, let's just write the code that handles arguments. I'm gonna take a peek at Jakt Nest Monster at the main file. And there JT does, guard arg size. I guess I do want it to be able to run without any arguments. I think that would be cool to put it into like a REPL or something. But for now, we'll just do this. So print line, usage. What did I call it? Luya. Actually, it's going to be like a Lua C file because I'm not going to write a Lua parser right now, and then we'll return one. But once we have our file, we'll actually specify like bytecode file. File name args1, and then we'll get the file. Or let Lua file, and we'll do type inference. Load Lua, load file. Okay, that looks good, but we're still getting error code 2. And as much as I wish I knew what that meant, I don't know what it means. Build source main.cpp. I don't know, is that like what if we just go into source and run Jakt? Main Jakt. So weird. I'm like stumped. Maybe I should ask the Discord server. We'll go and bother the Serenity folks. We'll do that if I can't figure it out, but I'm gonna look in the Serenity code right now. Or the Jakt compiler and see if somewhere in the source I can find out what error code 2 indicates. So we're having problems with the write to file function, which just opens a file for writing and then writes a byte array. That seems like dead simple. I don't understand how that could be erroring. Yeah, okay, that's stumping me. So we're just gonna screenshot. And we'll let them figure it out for me. This makes me feel very stupid. I'm very hungry. Actually, I haven't eaten lunch. Maybe I should do that while I'm waiting for somebody else to figure this out for me. But this sort of thing is like definitely to be expected. You know, like Jakt is a incredibly new language, and I clearly am new because, I mean, I'm still like putting the type before the variable name and not knowing how to write for loops. But this is a very intuitive language. In Rust, I would never be able to write this. Rust, I find the syntax is a little too, like it has a lot of things that are reminiscent of C, but it's a little too far from a lot of the programming languages I use to be intuitive enough for me to just write in. But I've never used Jakt before, and already we're here at over 100 lines of code, of Jakt code. It feels really good. This feels like a nice language to use, and the fact that it has like a VS Code syntax highlighting extension that uses the compiler, it's all just very cool. I was super excited for this language to come out as soon as JT. I forget who announced it first, if it was JT or Andreas. But as soon as they announced it, I was like, this is awesome. I was looking at the syntax and I was like, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for a systems programming language that was easier than C or C++, that guaranteed memory safety. Although I'm breaking some rules in my code, like up here. Oh, we might have a solution. So we might have to make a build directory. All right. Build source main. Apparently there's an open pull request for this. Yeah, okay, so if you don't have a build directory, the self-host compiler gets an error if it tries to write into that directory. Well, we'll do it like they do it. I think my Jakt stuff is in here. What? There is only one. Does it not interpret the quotes correctly? Am I gonna have to move Jakt to a directory that doesn't have spaces in the path? That's really frustrating. I'm gonna open up an Explorer and fix that. I'll take Jakt and I'll just drop it in some other directory. Okay, let's try this again. So now it's just my directory. Does this output .exe binaries? Okay. Oh, do I really have to have like a build source directory? That's just so janky. Okay, it's running. It's doing it. Whoa, we did it. Whoa, look at that. We built. That's crazy. Okay, that's awesome. That's so cool. Do I have Lua on my path? No. Oh, why don't I have Lua on my path? We're going to download Lua 5.1 binaries. And then we're going to build a little test file and try to parse it and see what happens. If you haven't read, or if you like are interested in emulation or virtual machines or anything, the Lua VM is extremely simple, and I would highly recommend trying to implement it in your favorite language as like a good way to get into emulation and virtual machines and things like that. Yeah, I can write an issue for that. That'll be no problem. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Spaces and file names. Great. Okay, so I think we have Lua all extracted, and I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my path. That should do it. Okay, so do I have to? I probably have to kill this terminal. Do I have to restart VS Code? Not a fan of the saxophone. Sorry. Okay, Lua 5.1. There we go. Look at that. Very nice. Okay, so we should be able to do like a Lua C 5.1 and then compile a Lua file into bytecode. So let's make a test file, test.lua, and we'll do something really simple like we'll just print hello world. Yeah, sure, Copilot. We'll put an exclamation point at the end of that. Or you know what? No, we have like Serenity people on, so we'll say hello, friends. Yeah, that's nice. And then I actually want to modify our main.jakt so that we output some information from the headers. So we'll do like a print line for the file name. How does print line work in Jakt? Can we do like do like a format string or something? Print line we'll do like the name, the what do we have in our header? Source name, source line start, source line end. Should be like test.lua 1, no up values, no parameters. And we'll just see if it outputs something like that. Is it like fprintln or something? Does it come with formatting by default? Yeah, okay, it does. Thank you, chatters. I've never done this before. If it wasn't obvious, so we'll do Lua file dot. It's not the completions I'm really looking for. We want header, or no, we want main chunk. Source name, source line start, source line end. Source line start and source line end. Oh, this is a file like load result. So we need how do you extract the this is an enum. How do you extract like the class from the object from the enum? We have to like guard that it's success or something. Guard Lua file is file load result success raw Lua file else eprintln file is not a Lua file, Lua bytecode file. Return 2. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Let's see. Yep, it didn't. That was good. Good catch. We should be able to recompile now. Right? Very nice. Yep. Let's do... oh, right. We have to compile the... So we have to do Lua C 5.1. This will compile our test Lua file into like a Lua bytecode file, which is... let's open it with... You know, I thought I had a hex editor, but I guess I don't. It's just like Lua bytecode, like Lua virtual machine bytecode. Anyway, so let's try it. Well, it's test or luac.out. Okay, well that printed nothing, which is not reassuring. Oh, and thanks for following Network Exception. I saw you on the office hours stream. On YouTube, I have a couple YouTube accounts. I was Gazehound on there, but everywhere else, I'm Apex. I also have a YouTube channel called Apex for you guys, in case you want to see me over there. But I don't. I upload like maybe like 3 times a year, so maybe it's not worth it. Maybe we should start by like doing a print line of the file name. Maybe we'll move it up here and do another build. Oh, it put it in the build directory. That's why. Yeah, look at that. We did it. Nice. Success. And right, I forgot that internally the file numbers start at 0, not 1. So that's correct, actually. Let's try adding a few other things in here and seeing if it gets the source lines correct. Let's turn off Copilot. Do that, and then right, let's build. That doesn't look right. That should be I feel like that should be 0, 1, unless like the default setting of Luacy is not to track the source lines. You can add your build directory to your path. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We can just do path, set path, right? Path equals something like, I haven't done this in a while. Path, like that. Yeah, okay, thank you. That's a good idea. It could be like I have an off by 1 error in reading an integer somewhere. No, because this, if integer size is like 1 byte, that should be index to index, which should loop at least once. So we should be getting something. So it's probably, maybe it's my string reading. Oh wait, it is. Or it's possibly it, because we have to advance the buffer here to skip the null byte. At the end of a string. Why don't we install a hex editor? No, look at that. These are our source lines, so it is making them 0. I really don't know why it's doing that. So this one should be 0. A source line start, we do obviously start at 0, but then this should not be 0. It should be like 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, etc. So okay, that just means we're parsing it correctly. But I kind of wish, what if I just like edit it? Can I do like, so that and then that? So can we make this like 0, 1 and see what happens? Oh wait, it would be this one, but also it's not. Yeah, okay. So we get 1 there. It's a little concerning to me that editing that other byte didn't have any effect. So maybe our number loading function isn't even, like this function might not be right. So integer size is going to be in bytes is going to be 4. So we're doing index to index plus 3. Should we be doing index to index plus, or yeah, index to index plus integer size? So I hate these off by 1 errors. Like I never know what's right. I feel like I'm just kind of trying everything, you know what I mean? That didn't change anything. How about we just print how many times we're iterating? Or minus index. The off by 1 experience. Okay, yeah, so look, we're doing 0, 1, 2. So that's definitely wrong. So what does that mean? Index, if we're iterating from dot index to dot index plus integer size, and integer size is 4, we're iterating from index to index plus 1 to index plus 2 to index plus 3. So this is upper bound exclusive. For loops in Jakt are upper bound exclusive, which I think is not obvious at first glance. Yeah, see, so now we're iterating the correct number of times, but we're still getting the wrong number. So we caught one bug, but it wasn't the correct bug. Oh, you know what it is? Ugh, that is so stupid. That is so stupid. I shouldn't be doing that at all. This was a dumb thing. It's the integer byte index. What it should be is like dot index or integer byte minus dot index. So this tells us how far left to shift this byte. Well, I'm glad we caught that bug, because that definitely was a bug. Yeah, actually, you're right. I should just be doing 0 to integer size, and that would have fixed the off by 1 error. And the reason I had it like this is because I just wanted to be able to use it in the loop like this. This was before I did the refactor to create a buffer reader. So really, yeah, I should just do this. And then I can do, honestly, I can just do dot next byte. Yeah, and then we don't even need to add to the index down here, because then next byte will be doing that for us. So that's a good simplification, so thank you. So now we can try it out. Let's see. Overflow and check subtraction. Is that this? Oh, right. Right. We replaced this with just integer byte. There it is. Nailed it, boys. Let's go. Ironed out. Sorted. Easy. We don't stress around here. Look at that. That is an accomplishment. I'm thankful that Jakt catches that. That I get a nice error instead of something like a silent over or underflow or something stupid like that. But this is good. This is a great start. So we're parsing the beginnings of a Lua file. I could continue. I could start parsing the instruction list. It wouldn't be too hard. I don't think I would start on opcode parsing today. Just because once you get started on that, it's kind of an endless. You just want to keep implementing them, or opcode decoding itself is a little involved. So maybe we take a break, or I might even stop for the day because I need to eat lunch. I've been at my computer for a little too long. But thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the help. I definitely would be sitting here for hours and hours on end without you guys in the chat. Kyle and Network Exception. This has been an awesome first time using Jakt. Jakt is like the language of my dreams. Super intuitive syntax, in my opinion. I love this. I love these really cool like guard statements where you can extract a value from an enum variant. It's just such a pretty language. I said this earlier, but I've always wanted a language that was a systems programming language, but wasn't like C and C++ are kind of gross. Let's be honest. Like well, first of all, like C itself, everybody knows just using C is kind of a painful experience with, like stuff like strings. And I hate dealing with pointers and raw pointers and just all that stuff it's beyond me. I've been programming for 10 years and I still I'm scared of C and C++. I stick to my managed or scripting languages. I hate memory management. I hate pointers. I hate indexing arrays using pointers. C++ has a bunch of interesting but kind of scary syntax features that become unreadable if you use them too heavily. I think C++ is difficult to look at. The type of C++ that Andreas and you guys, the Serenity C++ coding style is very nice. It's probably the most readable C++ I've ever seen. I like the long form. I like Serenity style. Variables say exactly what they are. Functions say exactly what they are. I like not having parentheses around guard and if statements or for loops or anything like that. Code blocks that start with some sort of condition. I'm sorry, this is turning into me ranting about how much I like Jakt. But ever since they announced it and started showing it off, I was like, I have got to use this. I have to learn how to use this because it looks like it's going to give me what Rust has, but easier. And it has been so far. Like, I mean, obviously I tripped over the loops a little bit, but so far, like, compared to developing in C and C++ with unreadable error messages or syntax error messages in the terminal and inexplicable errors when your program crashes, like, everything is just so much nicer in Jakt. These error messages are like, I don't know if I got any. No, I didn't get any error messages after restarting VS Code, but they're super readable error messages. Like, I could keep gushing about this forever. I think it's just like, I've always wanted a systems programming language like Jakt. Super approachable, super friendly. That's all I've got. Yeah, see, that's really reassuring coming from you, because like, C++ is scary. It's like, I'm so afraid of doing something wrong when I'm writing C++, and I feel like that's archaic. Before we created stuff that was safe by default, I feel like we're so stuck in using C++ and C for application development, and not a lot of people are willing to look forward and use new ideas. And the excuse we usually give is that like C or C++ they're very optimized, very fast, and that might be true, but like, are we really willing to sacrifice having safe, accessible code bases? So now I feel like I finally have a way in. Jakt is my in to writing native applications without having to learn C or C++. Sorry, that was a huge aside. I really should just end the stream because I'm holding you guys here hostage. But thanks for stopping by. I really appreciated the help. And I'll see you whenever I stream next. Later.